There's not just one type of toxic person. There are actually a ton of different kinds, because everyone's walking down a different path, and no path is the same. Today I'm going to break toxic people into 4 different types of categories to show a generalized version of the different types. This might help you get a better understanding when you look at the toxic people in your own life, and it might help you better understand yourself and your own struggles. So the first type of toxic people are people that don't recognize their own toxicity. They feel like they're never the problem, and they never accept responsibility for anything they do. For God's sakes, even if you point out the messed up shit that they're doing, they're still gonna deny it. And in fact, they might even put the blame on you. Maybe they'll claim that you're too sensitive or that you need to just suck it up and accept them for who they are. In fact, they might even make you feel like you're the problem for trying to encourage them to change. These are the type of people that are never going to freaking change. They weren't born toxic because no one is, but they sure as hell became it. These people are not all bad and have some good in them, though sometimes trying to find the good in these people is kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack, while other people still have a substantial amount of good within them, which makes it harder to let go because you keep reminding yourself of the good that they have. The problem is their toxic is really freaking toxic, and it's really causing you a lot of harm. You hold on to the good hoping that they're going to change, but they're not. These are the kind of people that are going to remain toxic until the day they take their last breath. It's not who they truly are inside, but it's who they've chosen to be, and they're not going to change to be any different. It's a hard truth to swallow. It's one that we're not going to want to swallow because we love them. But sometimes the best thing for us to do is just accept this is how they are and then take the steps we need to take to ensure our own well-being. And we do this for the sake of our mental health and happiness. The second type of person is someone who recognizes that they have toxic traits they need to work through. They see the harm they are causing their loved ones and they feel really shitty about it. But even though they openly show remorse for their actions and they tell you that they want to change, they're just not ready to put in the work. Or they might start to put in the work, but as soon as it becomes too painful for them or too much effort, they end up giving up. Unfortunately, these type of people are stuck in a cycle. They feel guilty and they want to change, then they start working towards changing, then they give up and they start their toxic habits again, which causes you harm, and then go back to feeling guilty. These types of people are also the kind of people who use their past as an excuse to remain the same, or to try to excuse their own behavior. They try to justify their own actions because of the pain that someone else put them through. And what they went through was really serious and it did hurt them. I'm definitely not taking away from their story. The thing is, they're not responsible for the damage that other people caused them. That's not their fault. But they are responsible for healing that damage so they don't cause harm to other people. Because they haven't healed from the damage of their past and they're not willing to put in the work, they end up hurting those around them, those they love. See, toxicity doesn't just affect the person who is toxic, it affects everyone around them. Unfortunately, this person isn't quite ready to put in the work to better themselves. Don't get me wrong, they might one day be ready to do so, but they also might not. The choice to work towards healing and bettering yourself is a dedication, and it takes a whole lot of work, but it's a choice only they can make. Others can't make it for them because it is a personal decision and it's based on a change that has to happen within. I'm about to go through the third and the fourth type of toxic people, but if you're not already subscribed, please take a moment, pause this video and do so. The reality is that adulting is hard and I'm here to help you through it with weekly videos. Now let's get back to that subject we were talking about. The third type of toxic person is someone that recognizes the need for change but doesn't know what steps they need to take to change. People like this tend to feel really lost. See, they know there's a good person in there. They just have no idea how to become that person. Yeah, they're still struggling with toxic traits and they don't want to. They really want to change, but they just don't know what steps they need to take to do it. They see this giant list of things they need to work on and they have the will to work on it. They just don't know where to start and they need a little bit of guidance. This third type of person is someone who will likely better themselves. They're just at the beginning of their journey. You gotta start somewhere, right? Then there's the fourth type of person. This is someone who has been actively working on bettering themselves. This person isn't perfect by any means. They might still be struggling with some toxic traits, but they recognize what those traits are and they will stop at nothing to change that. These are the kind of people that you might see actively participating in therapy. They're doing this because they understand they have past wounds they need to heal and they need a therapist to help them through it. You might see them reading self-help books to help them through a certain type of struggle. You might see them in group therapy or trying different outlets to better handle their emotional responses. Whatever path they choose that is best for themselves is one that they are dedicated to. These are incredible people in the making. And yes, change can take years, but every single year is a better version of themselves than the year before. And they keep getting better and better. Thank you so much for taking the time and watching this video. And if you have a little bit of extra time, I would love for you to check out my other videos on toxic people. I hope you have a beautiful day.